Go by so quick. There's so much to talk about. I want to show you some things too, if you don't mind. But this panel's got my name on it, but it's basically your panel. So we'll kind of do what we want. Whatever, we do what we want. So what do you guys think so far, Fanexpo 2013? It's a monster, isn't it? Did anybody actually see half of what they wanted to see this weekend so far? It's impressive, right? Really? Okay, very impressive. I hope you only had a couple things you wanted to see then, because everything's happening all at the same time, all around us, and, you know, if you don't like lineups, you're not going to like Fanexpo. The great thing is, you know, being a good Canadian kid myself from Vancouver, I'm surrounded by other good Canadian kids out here, so these are the people that you're standing in line with, and they're awesome folks. So, you know, a lot of times at Fanexpo, the lineups are some of the best parts because we're surrounded by awesomeness. You guys are awesome. Yeah, clearly you guys got big egos too, applauding at how awesome you are. For those of you that are a bit shy, I'll applaud for you at how awesome you are. Okay, so much to talk about, I don't know where to begin. It's called Voice Acting 101, because I was too late getting my panel name actually submitted. It was going to be probably Brad Swaile Show and Tell. So I know there's going to be probably some industry questions and some silly questions and some other things. Now, it's been a couple of years since I was at Fanexpo, and a lot's happened in that time. I was out here a few months ago at the Comic-Con, and I at a panel. Was anybody here at my panel at Comic-Con? Okay, not too many. Good. Okay, well, you guys might be bored because we're going to do the exact same thing. But okay, how many anime fans are there here? Okay, so, cool. How many people here hate anime? You guys? Oh, okay.
Better run.
I think they just wanted to be different. You know, I hate anime. So most of you know what AMVs are, right? Anime music videos. Well, I decided a little while back that I wanted to learn some video editing, and I've never done it before, really, right? Okay, this is going to be a panel full of tangents, so you might have to keep me on pace from time to time, like, get to the point, right? So aside from the voice acting, I have what I call my real job, because voice acting is the dream job, obviously, but I also like to be able to pay rent and eat and whatnot. Not this weekend, but, you know, occasionally. This is my dinner and my breakfast and my lunch. It's good. I should be sponsored by Coca-Cola and Sharpie. Okay, so I wanted to get into video editing because I do graphic design and illustration as my other job. And I dabble in music a little bit too, but never really got into the editing side. And it seems like the technology has become a lot more readily available. I've been talking all day. So I wanted to learn some video editing, and I thought, what better way to teach myself a video editing program than to make an AMV? So the very first AMV I made was one for Death Note. And I'm not going to play that one. No, we don't have time. We don't have time. You can find that one online. What's it called? It's called Death Note AMV. You know, the way to search for it is it's an AMV with Maximum the Hormone, who's the band that did like the opening and closing songs for the second half of the series. Zetsubo Billy is the song that I used. It's an awesome song, right? So that's where you can find it. But that one's online, so you can find that. The one I want to play for you guys is one that got banned from YouTube.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like my second AMV ever, and the second thing I ever put up on YouTube, and it got banned. Twice. Actually, it got twice banned because I used a Beastie Boys song. A little tribute for our fallen Beasties member. And so I think it was EMI, which is the record execs for that, originally said, and then so I said, please, come on, let me go. And they're like, all right, you're cool. That's fine. And then some other company came in and said, oh, no, you can't use it. So I said, oh, please, come on, you know, and I put in like the copyright thing, you know, fair usage and all that kind of stuff. And they came back and said, we're still saying no. Oh, come on. And the funny thing is, the clips that I used for this AMV are from an anime series called Hamtaro. If you guys want to check it out.
Kim Taro. Did you get banned?
Yes. I also started making these little movie moments, and since Ron Perlman's here, I'm gonna start with a little movie moment. Hold on.
Story, okay? You got nachos coming. Lift off.
It's so fun to like play that for like a room of people, man. Just like you guys giggling stuff is priceless. Banned from YouTube. One bad word in that, and I bleeped it out with Penelope. Ridiculous. I don't think I actually introduced myself yet. Hi, I'm Brad Swaile. I'm a voice actor from Vancouver. I mentioned I was from Vancouver, but you didn't say who I was. And yeah, I've worked on some, cartoons and video games and commercials and things, and anime made its way in there. Yes. Are there any questions? Because I'm going to forget. Oh, wow. Okay, here we go. Fire away.
Me?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's so funny. Point, and then I'll get like 3 questions all at once. We're going to start in the second row here, then we're going to go back. Okay.
Okay. I heard that you did Gohan. Is that true?
Oh, is that true? Where's the question in this?
Can you do any of the lines from Gohan?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I played Teen Gohan or Adult Gohan in Dragon Ball Z. Has anybody heard of Dragon Ball Z? That was more.
It's over 9,000!
You guys all shook your heads and said, I don't know. I hope you were in space for the last 20 years.
Can you do Kamehameha?
Oh, you want to start off with the Kamehameha?
Oh God!
I'll back off the mic, I promise. Okay, Gohan, Dragon Ball Z. This is after he's spent a lot of time on the hill wearing a dress and earrings and stuff. Nothing for 30 episodes. Again, he toughens up and decides to start kicking some big pink butt. Fight you? Huh. I will destroy you. Yeah, so there was another question in the questions in stereo, and now that question has vanished.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you may have answered my question already. I was just going to ask, how many and what kinds of animes you had voice acted for.
Okay, let me consult the IMDb in my head. Okay, well, I'll tell you a story. I'll probably answer some questions with this one tall tale. First of all, how did you get into voice acting? By accident. It's true. I got into acting in general because of my sister. I have a sister, Tracy, who is a year older than me, and basically she did things and I wanted to do them too. That's how siblings work, right? And she's doing it, I want to do it too. Hasn't happened yet. Emmy, yes. Oscar, no. And the Emmy was for X-Men Evolution, which wasn't for acting, but I still claim that Emmy. It was for technical achievement in sound engineering or something, but I'm yeah. Emmy actually won 2 Emmys in that case, so there you go. It got canceled. Okay. So I started off doing theater, because that's what my sister was doing. And then, gay theater. You guys will applaud anything. Carrots! Carrots got a bigger applause than theater. That's the vitamins, right? Okay, so through that, I got mixed up with a place called the Vancouver Youth Theatre, which was kind of a cool organization. It was a theater that would put together a troupe, like a cast of kids. And we build a show and then tour it around. And this was musical theater too, so we were singing and dancing and acting and all that kind of stuff. And so I auditioned for the theater and I got in to a production. My sister was in a different show. And then at one point a couple of the kids left the production that my sister was in, so I auditioned for it and I got in. So this was kind of cool, I was touring with my sister and the rest of the cast with a show for a little while. Now there was an agency right across the street from the theater that did something pretty smart. They would just kind of keep an eye on some of the kids that were coming through the theater. And so they approached me and my sister at one point and said, hey, do you want to join the agency? We'll start sending you out on auditions for, movies and TV shows and commercials and things. And we said, oh yes, please, we're going to win Oscars. In the same year. You be best actress and I'll be best actor. We were kids, by the way. Yeah, and not too bright. Not that I'm any brighter now, but So we said, yes, please. And so I started off doing on-camera works, movies and TV shows, and nothing spectacular, but government videos and things like that, commercials and whatnot. One of my favorite gigs was I was in an Ontario milk commercial. Pretty cool for a kid from BC, right? Yeah. Do you want to see what I did in that commercial?
Yeah.
I'm gonna display it for you, okay? You gotta imagine that there's a song playing in the background, a montage of things going on. How you gonna spend your energy? Milk so fresh and milk so clean. So this is me, but picture it in slow motion. How you gonna spend your energy? Milk so fresh and milk so clean. That was a happy hacky sack, by the way. It's called a jester. Yeah, so we go in for an audition for that, and they brought in like 5 or 6 people at a time, and they said, okay, go stand over there, we're gonna put the camera on you, and there's a bunch of props and things around, just do what you want to do. So a couple of buddies of mine happened to be in the same little cattle call as me, so we found a hacky sack. We're like, you want to just kick the hack around? This is ridiculous. They're like, yeah. So we just kicked the hack around, like smiling and being stupid and stuff, and I got cast. I had a hacky sack scene into this commercial. I'm like, sweet. So there were 3 of us. I was the only one in our little group that got cast in the commercial. But for the actual shoot, there were 3 of us kicking the hack around. It's a lot easier to have like a hackathon. Like a perfect hackathon is like 4 people. 3 people's a bit trickier, right? So we're kicking the hack, and then the shot that they used is me leaping in the air, and the other 2 looking at me. And I was wearing, we had to bring in our own wardrobe and stuff, so I got like ripped jeans and like 90s too, right? So I'm like wearing a flannel shirt and stuff, Pearl Jam, kicking the hack. Okay, see, tangents, like I said. So I was doing that type of stuff for a while in some movies and TV shows and things, and then I had my first audition for a cartoon, which was a show called My Little Ponytails. Yeah, and I got it. So I played Ace on My Little Ponytails, and he was a badass pony. Well, he wasn't a badass pony. He was a bad pony. No, he was a kind of a mean pony. We'll give him that. Because ponies are generally pretty like sweet and sugary and cotton candy and stuff, but not Ace. He was a mean Mama Jabba. And so that kind of started me working on other cartoons, mostly American cartoons like Sonic the Hedgehog and Double Dragon and stuff like that. And then that led to my first audition for an anime series, which was a show called Ranma 1/2. That's awesome, even after all this time, that's so cool. Yeah, so I played Moose on Ranma 1/2. Ranma, when did your face become so hairy? Shampoo! I said that a lot. Shampoo! And one of my more challenging roles. So that was my first taste of anime since I had watched anime, and the first anime series that I ever watched was a movie called Akira, or Akira. Yeah, and I loved it, I thought it was awesome. So then, I got to actually start doing dubbing for anime, and I thought, this is really cool. And so that led to a bunch of other things. Okay, so now that kind of wasn't even answering the question. So, I don't have my cheat sheet in front of me. So I've worked on shows like, are there any Gundam fans? In Mobile Suit Gundam, I was Amuro. In Gundam Wing, I was Katra. In Gundam Seed, I was Diarca. In Gundam Seed, Diarca got the howl. In Gundam Seed Destiny, I was Diarca and L. And then in Gundam 00, I played Setsuna. So that's my Gundam repertoire. Death Note. I know this guy's heard of Death Note.
I'm watching you.
Yeah, I should be picking you out. Anybody in L costume? Yeah, stand up. Get out. Actually, L can stay near. So Dragon Ball Z we mentioned, played Gohan. X-Men Evolution I kind of alluded to. I played Nightcrawler in that. Oh, can I geek out for you? Geek out on you for a little bit? Okay, so Stan Lee's here this weekend, right? And I'm like, I try to be cool at these things. I try not to get too starstruck or anything, But Stan Lee's here. I mean, come on, How can you not geek out with Stan Lee around? So I'm like, guys, I gotta get an autograph. Well, do you think Mr. Lee will give me an autograph? Well, his dance card is full this weekend, right? So I bitched and moaned and whined a lot. And I'm at a table signing autograph stuff, so I'll never see him. It can be so depressing. And I brought an X-Men poster with me that I've had for like 6 years or something. And you want to see it? I told you, show and tell. So right next to Nightcrawler is an autograph from Mr. Stan Lee. So now, also, I'm a big sports guy too, so I play baseball in the summer and I play hockey in the winter. And this is a hey, hockey. Canadians. They're all so adorable.
Go, Leafs, go!
You see the logo on the back of this? Okay. It's not the Leafs. I'm in the wrong crowd to be saying like that, talking about sports time. Let's change the subject. So this is the first year I think the Fanexpo's got like sports guys here. So now I'm super geek, man. Like tomorrow. Okay, I gotta show you something else. So I heard that like probably one of my favorite hockey players of all time was going to be here. So I pulled an old jersey that I got in 1998 out. It was just blank and had a crest on the front. And I started cutting some numbers together and customizing and buying patches on eBay to kind of trick it out and whatever, because there's an autograph that I'm going to try and hunt down tomorrow too. Now, you purists out there might go, wait a second, that's an all-star jersey, and it's got number 19 on it. Joe Sakic never wears 19 at the All-Star game because Steve Yzerman's always at the All-Star game and he wears 19, so Sakic wears 91. See, I'm such a nerd. Well, this was in 1998, you see, and this All-Star game was actually in Vancouver, which is where I'm from, and Steve Yzerman was hurt. He was injured for that particular game, so Joe Sakic wore number 19. None of you care, but I just want to make sure. Set that to bed right now. So hopefully I can hunt down that autograph.
Good luck.
I'm so distracted. Let's get another question. I think I kind of answered the first one. Okay, I'm gonna go to the back and I'll come back over here. Yeah.
In regards to one of the anime you worked on, Hikaru no Go, why do you think it was never aired in Canada or in the US?
Discrimination. Hikaru no Go. Complicated game. It was, okay, very cool series, a lot of fun to work on, and it was great because every episode at the end had like an instructional portion on how to play the game. So I thought it would be something perfect to air on TV because you could get a bunch of kids, and myself included, learning how to actually play the game, which was kind of important considering I'm like on the show and I'm supposed to be this like superstar and stuff, and I'm like, can somebody teach me how to play? So yeah, it would have been perfect. I have no idea why not. I think that's way beyond me. That's a bunch of people like wearing ties and suits and things like that sit in boardrooms and discuss things and probably pound the table a lot. And go, yep.
Can you do one of size lines?
Star Point. I said that a lot. Star Point. Thank you. Okay, let's go there.
Me?
Yep.
Can you do the catcher laugh?
The catcher laugh. Oh, jeez. Why do all my characters go crazy and laugh?
Not all of them.
Okay, so those of you that have seen Death Note know there's like maniacal laughter in it, probably, right?
Yeah.
So I got asked a while back to do the catcher laugh, and I'm
That
like,
was me.
yeah, okay, and I'm like, how did it go? So hey, can you do it for me first? Then I'll do it. Is that totally putting
I
you on the
forget
spot?
how we laugh.
I forget too. Like, so I'll try, but it might turn into light a little bit.
I don't care.
But it was, I guess it was good, good practice, Catra. Okay, so Gundam Wing, for those of you that don't know, and if it's a spoiler, it's way too late if you're not watching Gundam Wing yet. So he ends up in this giant Gundam, which is kind of a killer Gundam, but it tunes in with the pilot, and Catra was a little too weak for this suit. So he hops in there, and it starts making him go a little and he's like a pacifist who like doesn't want to fight anybody, and he starts just massacring everybody. Wing Zero, baby. And then he's laying siege and carnage to everybody, and then he laughs maybe like this. It was a long time ago. Goodbye, friend Troa. It may not have been a darn thing. That does not deserve your applause at all, but I appreciate it. Yeah. So okay, right on. Okay. Yeah.
Have you ever been recognized in public, like outside of conventions?
Have I been recognized in public outside of conventions? I'm a voice actor, so.
Like, I know that
Yeah, it happened once. It's happened once, like when in a totally non-convention atmosphere, it happened once. I was, okay, I got 2 stories. This time I got actually recognized, and the second time I got misrecognized. The first time I was recognized was at an anime shop in Richmond, which is just outside of Vancouver. And I was at a mall, and they have an anime store there, and I think I was buying Death Note DVDs or something, because I don't get free copies of the stuff that I work on. I'm like you, man, I gotta collect it, and I know how expensive it gets, and especially with Death Note, because those little buggers decided to release volumes with like the action figures and stuff. Well, the in-action figures, but still like a doll. So I'm like, oh, I gotta get the light doll. I'm gonna pay more for that volume, and then it's like, okay, well now I need, a Visa doll too. They got me. They got me. Trying to get out and pull me back in. So I'm at this anime shop, and I'm picking up, volume 7 or whatever. And I think I had waited long enough because, there's other series that I had to get too. So by the time I think I was, finishing up my volumes, they already did the release in like the 2-volume release where they got the first half and the second half. I'm like, oh, you buggers. So I was smart with Gun and Wing. I got the whole collection. I gave up on doing volume by volume. I just waited and got the whole collection in 2 volumes. Tangent. Okay, so I got this Death Note DVD and I got it up the counter, and she's like, okay, so how are you gonna pay for that? I'm like, I'll put it on my credit card. So I give her my Visa, and she grabs it and goes, wait a sec. I'm like, yeah, holy wow, I just got recognized in public. How cool is that? Does that mean it's free? Zook. Guess not. Okay, so that's the only time I really got recognized. And so it was, where was this? Was it Sean Astin? You guys know who Sean Astin is? So I was signing autographs, and that was before the setup was like it is now, where I had like a table all weekend and stuff. So I would just show up, for an hour and sign autographs. But of course, an hour turns into 3 or whatever, because you guys are just awesome. So Sean Astin's over here at his fancy table, and I got my little makeshift table that I just kind of showed up at, go and sign autographs. And I guess he noticed that I was there for quite a while, signing autographs and stuff. So when he walks by, he gives me a high five. And it's Sean Astin, right? So he gives me a high five, he's like, yeah, and he gives me a point, I'm like, awesome. And as he's walking away, he goes, I think I just saw you in a movie last week. I'm like, sweet, man, I hope you liked it. It wasn't me at all. I haven't been in a movie in 15 years. But yeah, cheers. I killed it. Yeah.
Are there any roles that you want to play as?
Yeah, every role I want to play.
Any new animes that are out that you want to
Anything. I want some more Gundam work. That's going to be easier said than done. Okay, the big one, I've gotten this question before. The big one that stands out, it's not anime, so I'm totally cheating on the question, but my favorite movie of all time is a movie called The Dark Crystal, Jim Henson. It's beautiful, it's creepy, it's something that I remember from my childhood, and it, gave me nightmares, and I still love, love remembering those nightmares that it gave me. I think it's just a brilliant little piece. Well, I heard a little while ago that they were going to make a sequel to it, new technology and all that kind of stuff, so it probably wasn't going to be puppets, it would have been all CG, I would assume. And I would have killed, seriously, I would have killed to have even the tiniest little role in that production. But I think the whole thing got tied up, so it might still be, happening at some point, and I will do almost anything if I could work in a Henson production, especially Dark Crystal. That would be so cool. Okay, I'm pointing to a big group shirt. Do you already ask one? Okay, I don't know. Somebody ask. Go ahead.
What is your most favorite role out of everything you've done? Out of anything you've done?
What's yours of mine?
Moose.
Okay, we're gonna say Moose then. You can't answer that question, man. It's like doing a disservice to all the other characters. I love them all equally, for different reasons. I'll change my opinion all the time on what my favorite is. Okay, we're gonna go here. Yeah, I don't know. There's seriously 4 hands, and I'm pointing in that direction. Okay.
Okay, 2 quick questions. One, will the Majin Buu saga be in the Canadian version of DBZ Kai? And 2, what was your experience on Black Lagoon like?
Okay, let's start with Black Lagoon. Awesome. I got to drop my first F-bomb. Black Lagoon. For those of you that don't know Black Lagoon, it's kind of a tale of like modern day pirates, not Yar pirates, but seedy underbelly of society type pirates. And the main girl in it's kind of like a Lara Croft type figure. Her name's Revy, and she's and she gets snap you all like a pocky stick as well. And she curses like a sailor. My character Rock is he's more reserved, let's say. But I got to drop an F-bomb, which is cool. You should see me in studio. Because, I've worked on shows that have foul language before, and my character always, like, cries. That's what, I'm lucky if I get to say, damn. So that was pretty exciting. I made them let me record it like 10 times. It was like, this is never going to happen again in my career. So there's 2 seasons of Black Lagoon that we recorded, and then it kind of went on hiatus, and thought, okay, that might be it. And then this 3rd installment came out called Roberta's Blood Trail. So I got all excited, right? But it was Funimation that had it at that point. I wasn't sure if they were just going to recast because it's easier for them. But good for them, kudos, because they actually came up to Vancouver and kept the original cast in check, because I would have been choked. Yeah, absolutely. Because I only picture Marika playing Revy, and I'm sure, like, I know a lot of voice actresses from Texas are awesome. They're awesome people, and they're awesome actresses and all that kind of stuff. But Marika already established Revy for me, so I would have been upset, if somebody else came in to try and do what Marika was doing. And okay, the 3rd installment apparently I think just got released seriously last week or something. It's brand spanking, and so I read through the script. I watched the Japanese, and then I read through, but I don't speak Japanese. I actually did have to speak Japanese in Black Lagoon, though. At one point, I had like 30 lines in Japanese. So I studied, and I tried to get it phonetically. I was reading Japanese, right? So it's all phonetic. I'm like, okay, so I'll try to at least pronounce it. And I worked really hard, we recorded it. Then it turns out it's during like a big boss battle discussion type thing. So I'm buried under everybody talking over it, and here I am in the background. But I like it. That still lodged in my head. And it sounds like this. But I go to selling around with the red photos. Oh man. Shh, everybody else be quiet. Let's hear my Japanese. Although anybody that actually speaks Japanese is probably like, what the hell is he saying? Is that supposed to be Japanese? It's adorable. Okay, so I read through the script, and I didn't have one curse word for Roberta's Blood Trail, because, Rock kind of chills out a little bit. He's more of a mastermind at this point. And so I haven't picked it up yet, because like I said, I have to go find it and buy it. Although I could probably get Funimation to send me one. I'll see if I can do that. And so I snuck in a swear word. And we gave them an alternate take too, so we'll see if the editors caught it and were like, no, that's off script. We're gonna, think of there. But, I got to drop an F-bomb in the first one. So I tried to sneak in an MF-bomb for this one. Just one, kind of sneaky in there. Anybody know Tenacious D? Yeah. Here's the word that I said in Black Lagoon coming up.
After I'm complete.
Oh. That's probably for the best. We'll keep this at PG. Okay, so to the answer to that question, anything about Dragon Ball Z, I have no idea. The only thing that I know is that I haven't worked on it. I haven't been able to bring Gohan in, since forever. And anything you read online is basically what I know, and a lot of that's misinformation anyway. So I'm still hoping at some point to get a phone call, and maybe I'll be able to do more Dragon Ball Z. I have no idea. Okay. Here's hoping.
Yes.
Okay, I'm wondering if you had the chance to do any characters on MLP Season 4 for the Gen 4 Friendship Magic line, would you take it?
MLP?
My Little Pony.
My Little Pony? Yeah, I'm good with that. You know what? I'd really love for Ace to make like a little cameo. That'd be awesome.
somehow I don't think that particular pony is going to be making an appearance.
Why not? Are you biased? Do you hate ponies with soccer balls?
I'm not saying yay or nay, I'm just saying that the nasty ponies usually get their asses handed in the eye.
Sacrilege.
Thank you.
Okay, I didn't mean he was mean. He was like the sweetest guy ever. Yeah, but I mean, that show is recorded in Vancouver, and I mean, it's mostly a girl cast, right?
I wouldn't say that.
Well, it's mostly girl ponies, isn't it? I don't know. I think I've had one audition for that series, and I obviously didn't get it. So yeah, I would love to be on this show, but I'd love it even more if it was my pony. You know? So I mean, he was my first cartoon role too, right? And this was, yeah, it was last year I think that I was thinking this. I'm like, you know, this would be like an anniversary of when my Little Pony series came out. It would be so perfect, and yeah, I never heard back from them. So, so that's up to you guys. You guys got to spearhead a campaign for me. Bring Ace back. Bring Ace back. He will get nicer. He will get nicer. Yeah, he'll apologize for all his misdoings. He'll apologize. That's a really horrible campaign. So, yeah, I don't know. It's amazing. That show seems like it's very fan-driven, where the producers and the writers and things actually listen to the fan base and kind of mold the show to what people want, which is very cool. And clearly they don't want me.
That's bad.
Questions. Oh, you guys are so sweet, so sweet. So, okay, you just shook your hand at me, so yeah, and you got the sparkly shirt.
Were there any in your voice acting career, did you have difficulty voice acting, like, you know, the laughs? Are there any moments where you were particularly nervous doing something?
Yeah, I'm usually the most nervous when I'm watching it on TV, because, you know, I'm an actor. In some ways, I guess I'm a typical actor where I'll watch myself and I'll be like, oh, I could have done that better. And stuff. The laugh from Death Note in particular, I mean, it's kind of funny. I'm my own worst enemy, next to L. So I'm in studio and I practiced that laugh, right? I watched the original Japanese of episode 37 probably 4 times. Because Mamoru Yanu is the guy who plays Light in the Japanese version, does an awesome job, and I knew that people were gonna like kill me if I totally fucked it up. So I watched it and I'm like, okay, well I want to do something that kind of pays homage to what he does, but I don't want to try and mimic it exactly. So I kind of did my own thing a little bit, but tried to have some of the cadence that he had as well, and the passion and whatnot. And so I recorded it, you know, and they're like, okay, Brad, let's move on to the next line. And let me try that again. Let me try that again. All right. I was such a pain on that last episode. I'm pretty quick at doing ADR, which is, you know, dubbing work. At one point, a director called me the Joe Sakic of ADR, which I understood right away was a huge compliment, because I understand the mechanics of it. And, you know, I have a musical background to some degree. I'm a drummer, so I kind of get the timing and stuff. Yeah, drummers. Woo! And so, what the hell was I talking about? So they would have accepted the first one, but I made them let me give them like probably 5 more. So I did at least 4, maybe 5 laughs. And I realized afterwards that the problem with doing that is now you've given them an endless supply of things to choose from. And of course, the one they chose is the one that had the completely inadvertent like horse whinny in the middle of it. That was not planned. I haven't written that in, and now to the horse whinny. So now when people ask me to do that, like I gotta make sure I throw the horse whinny in there. I'll be stomping the ground and eating grass and stuff. So at the time, that's like therapy, you know, it's free therapy because I'm alone in a booth, you know, going maniacal, and you know, I walk out of there feeling, good. Wow, think how much money I saved from not having to lie on a couch and explain my feelings to somebody. The problem is that you come to something like this and somebody's like, do the laugh, the catcher laugh or whatever, right? And I'm like, okay, totally. And then I look up and all you guys are there. And then there's cameras out too, right? So I feel bad for, you know, any of my family members. Like if my mom decides she wants to look me up on YouTube, there's probably like 100 videos of me like shouting and laughing and whatever into somebody's, you know, camera. And it's creepy, you know? It's one thing when you can hide behind, you know, a booth and nobody's looking at you, but now the world's watching and, you know, I just try not to look myself up on YouTube. Makes things simple. It's either that or me eating potato chips. There's 3 of you exactly in a row, so yeah. We'll go bum, bum, bum.
All right, my question was, how would you would have liked it if Death Note ended?
Oh, I can tell you that right now. Spin-off series for light, very simple. Yeah, okay. That's good.
Do you ever record things when they're like the whole cast together at one time? And how old were you when you had your first voice acting?
Woo! Do you guys want to try and top that?
Yeah.
Go 1, 2, 3, and we'll all go. I'm gonna get this for Snapchat too. 2 birds, 1 stone. Okay. 1, 2, 3. You guys destroyed him. That was awesome. Thanks, Sam. That's so good. I'll send that off. Okay, so there was a question in there. Yes, have I ever recorded with the entire cast? Yes, My Little Ponytails, the entire cast was there. I think I was like 14, 13, 14, something like that, I think. And it was a cast of kids too, right? Like it was pretty cool. You know, like most of us were just, kids in high school, and some were even probably still in elementary school at that point, why not? And have you guys heard of a director? His name's Wally Burr. He directed like the original, Generation 1 Transformers and stuff like that. He's a big name in the industry. Well, he was our director for that series, but he's based in LA, and he never came up to Vancouver for the session, so he was like the omniscient voice that we put in our headsets, and it's Wally Burr. Like it was, we're a bunch of kids, and there's Wally Burr. It was pretty cool. And then, so American cartoons are recorded like that because there's no visual, right? We record it like you would imagine a radio play back in the day before television. And then they send it off and they draw up the cartoons to match what we've done. Obviously, it's the opposite when a cartoon's already been produced, in Japanese or something, and we're mimicking it. So another good example of that was X-Men Evolution, which is cool because I'd worked with a bunch of the actors on X-Men previously, and some of them more so with anime stuff. So we never actually worked directly together. But when you got guys like Scott McNeil who played and I'm looking right across the room at him, and you can tell that he's got his claws out and stuff, and like you can hear them snicting almost in your head because we don't sit down and and all kind of stuff. He's out there ducking because you don't want to get cut. Very cool. Was there a second part to that question?
You've answered both parts.
Okay, fantastic. And there was one more right behind. We're doing like a domino.
I was just gonna ask.
Oh, okay, we got one more domino before it gets to you. Yeah, that's it. When her question goes down, it hits like a teeter-totter, which launches a little marble at your domino. Now she's laughing too much. Yeah, go ahead.
2 good questions.
Yeah.
1, if you ever had a chance to do something for Disney, would you?
Yes, of course. Depends what it was, but no, I would never turn down Disney. Yeah, absolutely, I'd love to.
And 2, if you had a death note, like a real death note, what was the first thing you'd do with it?
Oh.
Put it back down and walk away. I wouldn't even pick it up because I know. I know. Hey man, don't be dissing Bieber. The Biebs. I would put something about the hammer pants that he started. Dude, no, that's one thing we don't need to bring back. Leave them with hammer. Hammer don't hurt. Okay, domino has fallen and.
I was going to ask how often you take potato chips and eat them.
I did almost ask you that, you kind of did. But instead.
What's one of your most proud roles that you've done?
We were talking about Ron the One Half earlier. I played Moose, and he was, fawning after shampoo and stuff. So the one I'm most proud of was him as the duck. It was really a struggle. He sounded like, wow, that just took a lot out of me. I don't know, I like them all, and I'm proud enough of them. I'm proud that, that you guys like them. Of course, I always think, I could have done better. But that is what it is. I don't know where to go, sure.
Me?
Yeah.
What was your favorite part about voicing Light?
The potato chips. Yeah, it's funny at these conventions because people will basically force feed me potato chips. I'm lucky in that I like potato chips. The only time that wouldn't go so well is if somebody tries to force me like salt and vinegar. That's where I draw the line.
Best flavor.
Best flavor? Come on, get it. What is the best flavor then? Oh, I tried that maple bacon, man. I don't know.
Sour cream and onion. Chocolate.
Chocolate. Those are mixed flavors now. I like pina colada. Okay, enough. Some of you are right and some of you are wrong. Vinegar, wrong. Ketchup, interesting choice for favorite flavor. Ketchup you throw in the mix every once in a while, like twice a year maybe. Sour cream and onion is correct. Barbecue is also correct. I would have accepted plain as well because I'm kind of getting back into those a little bit. And ripple I would accept. Dill pickle kind of, same thing, very occasionally.
All dressed.
Yeah, all dressed. Oh, it's too close to salt and vinegar. It's better than salt and vinegar. Okay, all dressed only if it's got the ripples. And I'll allow it. Voice acting 101, we're talking about potato chips. That's what it is.
In the most difficult times when you're voice acting, like, who do you look for inspiration?
Who do I look towards for inspiration with voice acting? See, here's one thing that kind of alludes to the question I answered before. I'm very lucky in Vancouver that I'm surrounded by some incredible voice talent. And not just the voice people, like the directors, the engineers, clients, all that kind of stuff. Some very talented people. So working on a show like X-Men, you find a lot of inspiration very easily just being in the room with some of these like consummate professionals that are just way too talented for their own good. And you try and mimic their level of talent, and that kind of keeps you going. Also, when you realize that you're getting beat out for a bunch of roles by these very talented people, you try and emulate their professionalism a little bit more. And some, there's some that I can't compete with because I just don't have that voice, I'll never be the stereotypical bad man, bad guy, evil mastermind, because they all talk like this, And for me, it's a big struggle to put on a voice down here. But there's people that's pretty much their natural speaking voice. So those are the guys that I'm going to cast. But going back, again, Jim Henson, guy could do the puppeting and do the voice. Mel Blanc, is God in my books, Just watch any old Looney Tunes, they still hold up. A lot of them are totally sexist and racist, biased and all that kind of stuff. But still, the quality of work that went into it is incredible and it still holds up today. It's pretty impressive. Oh man, we're running out of time. There's so many questions. Okay, yeah, you were shaking your hand. I saw.
All right. Do you have any advice for voice actors and voice actresses trying to get into the industry?
Thank you.
I don't know. The question is advice for people trying to break into the industry. Like I said, I kind of fell into it by accident, and I still don't have a strong foothold in it. I was lucky with some of the anime stuff that I got, but it's a tricky business. And in Vancouver, there's not really any anime coming up there anymore. A lot of it's staying in Texas, so that cuts the thing out.
So we just move?
Yeah, I don't know. No, there is. With the expansion of the internet and all the self-made shows that are happening there are opportunities. My big advice is, if you want to get into voice acting, study acting in some capacity. It's voice acting. Just because you can do an impression of a character on Simpsons doesn't mean you're going to be able to become a successful voice actor. Because first of all, that role's already been taken by somebody that's probably better at it than you are. It's a safe bet, considering you're mimicking them. They can probably do it better. Not necessarily, but probably. But acting is the most important part of that equation. And it's also, it seems like fun, and it is, but it's also fun within the industry of the entertainment industry, which is an industry of rejection. So you have to be able to develop a pretty thick skin. You don't have to have a thick skin moving into it right away, but you have to be able to not take things too seriously, otherwise it's just too stressful. And this is only me talking personally, right? There are some people that are full-time voice actors, do very well at it, and they'll say, oh, it's easy, anybody can do it and all that kind of stuff. For me, like I mentioned before, I have, another job to help sustain things. So I would recommend exploring it, start with the acting side and stuff, but don't throw out everything you do to become a voice actor, because there's no guarantees. It's one of those industries where there's no guarantees. You could go to school forever if there was like voice acting college and stuff, and not be guaranteed that you're ever going to work at it. Anything else?
Listen to Voice Print with Trevor Duvall.
Yeah, listen to Trevor Duvall's podcast. That'll help. And you know, email him questions or whatever, and he'll answer them a little bit better than I can. Wow, so many questions. Do we know what time it is?
40 seconds.
Oh man, we're swimming through. I had a bunch of stuff that I was going to show you and stuff. But you guys have so many questions. Should we just keep doing the questions and things? Okay. It'll take too much time to show you things. We'll do it next time.
When's next time?
I don't know. Tomorrow?
Make another panel tomorrow.
Yeah, I can't make it. I've got an airplane to catch tomorrow.
Ditch the plane.
Ditch the plane. I'm not leaving
for a week.
I'm not leaving till the show's done. I think my car leaves at like 5 or something.
Okay, so
I'll be here. So you can ask some of these questions. If you come visit my table and stuff, you can ask some of these questions. Okay, I've been neglecting the back. Sorry, I'll be over there in a sec. I've been neglecting the back, so I'm gonna.
Bing.
That was easy.
Do you always have a talent for voices, or is it something that you picked up as you started acting?
That's a good question. Is everybody hearing this question? Should I be repeating it? Okay. You said that I have talent. That's so sweet. I was never. A lot of people that work in voice acting, and this might be kind of part of my downfall. A lot of them will say that when they were kids, they were putting on crazy voices all the time. I was never. I was a bit more shy. Still am a bit. Like this is me kind of like shining on that I'm comfortable with doing this. But you put me in a booth and it's a bit different. So I found, as far as doing like different voices and stuff, all you have to do is surround yourself with other voice actors and people that do that, and you suddenly free up, some of your inhibition, and you're able to practice that type of thing. Because you can't, doing voices in your head is one thing, doing them actually out loud and making them what you want them to be is a whole different thing. So for me, it's something that just kind of developed over time. When I first started doing voice acting, it was stuff that was mostly, I got cast for things that were my own voice, essentially, like I'm, a 14-year-old kid, and they wanted somebody that was, 14 years old or thereabouts, so I would just talk and that'd be fine. But then you realize that eventually you're gonna have auditions for characters that are not that voice, so you just try something. Some things work, some things don't, like the voice I used in Hamtaro was not my regular speaking voice. And actually, like, to be fair, even most of the voices that I do in like the Gundam series and things, they're not really my real voice. Setsuna's probably the closest to my real voice. But doing Katra and stuff, it's, or Amuro, it's usually like a younger version of me with a bit more energy and whatnot. So yeah, for me it just kind of developed with practice and with practice working as well. I don't really know how else to answer that. But now I find myself trying voices and things. Because I got so many in my head, I gotta let them out sometimes, Yes. Sure.
What genres of music do you dabble around?
Oh, what genres of music do I dabble around in? I'm a fan of music. I like all sorts of music. My favorite band, and I do say that I have a favorite band, is a band called Tool. I mean, Danny Carey, the drummer, is like the sickest drummer that I know. Yes. Not that I know him, but... but I grew up in my house, my mom listened to Elvis, and my dad listened to the Beatles. Then when I got into high school, I discovered like, Led Zeppelin and Jimi Hendrix and stuff. And now I'm into bands like Tool and Perfect Circle, anything that Maynard's a part of. But I like all sorts of music. It doesn't matter who it is, really. If No Direction had a song that I was digging, I'd be like, okay, I dig that song. They're not maybe my favorite
Can you
band.
sing us a song?
Or if Justin Bieber had a, can I sing you a New Direction song? No. Sorry.
No,
Not
just
in my
sing a
own
song, not direction.
Oh. I brought my guitar.
Sing in our direction.
I've been talking all weekend, so it might be a bit rough, but I'll do that. See, and the reason I brought it is because 2 years ago was the last time I was here at Fanexpo, and I was wearing a costume. I was wearing my Halloween costume. I'm like, okay, that'll be enough. And then there was a dude dressed up as Slash who had like an electric guitar and a little mini amp, and he runs up the stage. He's like, "What's that?"
He was here.
Actual Slash.
Actual Slash and that guy.
And mini Slash.
Yeah.
Wow, incredible. So he runs up and he's like, "Here, play this," and I'm like, "Oh, I don't really have anything prepared," and the crowd went, "Woo, woo, woo," and I'm like, okay. So I attempted to play something that was horrible. So I actually brought my own guitar and, okay, I'll try. We'll just pretend that it's in tune because we don't have time to. And I've just started learning this song, so I'm going to have sheet music with words and stuff, and we'll see how it goes.
What kind of guitar?
This is Gibson Epiphone,
nice.
PR5E electric acoustic.
Oh,
It's
sounds
no, it's not
futuristic.
fancy. It looks fancier than it actually is.
Was that where you got your bag?
Well spotted. Jeez, okay, now I'm nervous. Good.
Sing along, friends.
Check, check. This water is now tainted.
Get your H coming out.
Mama. Thank you. Enjoyed that.
The best.
I don't think I need a mic to sing this one. It's kind of loud. Might have to wail a bit too.
Wail and swale.
Skip a light fandango, turn cartwheels across the floor. I was feeling kinda seasick, but the crowd called out for more. The room was humming hotter as the ceiling flew away. When we called out for another drink, the waiter brought a tray, and so it was that later, as the miller told his tale, that her face at first just ghostly turned whiter, shade of pale. And she said there is no reason, and the truth is plain to see. As I wandered through my playing cards, oh, they would not let it be. One of 16 best of virgins who are leaving for the coast. And although my eyes were open, they might just as well been closed. And so it was delayed, as the miller told his tale, that her face at first just ghostly turned whiter, shade of pale. Let's keep going till they kick us out. Yeah.
Can you please do the like, y'all got me laugh?
Oh, thank you for asking me to do that after I said Oh, I don't have my cheater here either. Okay, like I was saying earlier, it's embarrassing when I do it in front of everybody. So I have this thing that I left at home, and I made a cutout of Light's face. So people are like, do the laugh, and then I'll throw it in front of my face and do the laugh, and I can hide a little bit, right? But I don't have that today, so yeah, you can find that on YouTube, I'm sure. And this is going to be au naturel. This is the stripped down, you know, unplugged version here. I need more water.
Chug it.
Chug it. Chug it. Chug.
Chug, 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 chug.
It's not beer, it's water. I'm practically allergic to water. There's water in beer though, right?
No.
All right, you ready? Cameras out. Here we go. Dance Monkey Dance. Brad embarrassing himself on YouTube.
Take one.
Take one. That's right. I am Kira. You're getting the point. I can't see you because you're hidden, but yes, I see that.
I was just wondering, what's the most awkward line you've ever had to say, or like something that made you do a double take? I'm like not quite sure. You really just read that.
Yeah. There's a show I worked on called Project Arms, which apparently nobody's seen. And there was, I can't say it because like there was some pretty foul language in that. But again, I had a character that didn't really, outright curse. But there was one line where it's something about, okay, if I truncate it, then it's not as offensive. It was something about salt, ass, and eat. And when I say ass, I'm talking about a donkey. So it's okay for YouTube. Don't ban me, please. But yeah, there was something like he was like trying to insult somebody, whatever. And I'm like, oh, that's not a good insult at all. Salt on you, yelling, okay, sure. But yeah, it's anime, so there's a lot of lines where you're like, okay. One in particular, I don't know. Sure.
Have you also done singing in your theater or your voice acting?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, so when I was with the Vancouver Youth Theatre, it was musical stuff that we were doing. They weren't like, Phantom of the Opera or Les Mis type musicals, but we had these play-built shows that had songs, because we had an artistic director who wrote songs for the production. So that's what we were doing. A bunch of kids standing around singing and then acting scenes in between and then singing whatever. Now, as far as singing in like cartoons and stuff goes, My Little Pony. I was doing some singing in My Little Pony, a couple songs. Like I didn't like the guys didn't have a whole lot of episodes in that series, but we had some songs and stuff. Has anybody heard of a series called Soul Taker? The Soul Taker. Okay. It's got one of the funkiest opening theme songs ever. Check it out at least for the opening theme song, Soul Taker. The theme song goes like this: Soul Taker. Like, it's pretty epic. Pretty awesome. It sounds just like that. Okay, so this is a weird story. Okay, so that series, there would be no singing in that series. It's kind of a weird, fantastical, dark type series. But there was a spin-off series called Nurse Witch Kamugi, which basically took the same characters and essentially said that Soul Taker was kind of a dream. And now the characters have woken up and this is what it really is. And so my character, who was kind of like a Luke Skywalker type character in The Soul Taker, was suddenly like in a boy band. He was like Bieber, all of a sudden. So I was excited, like he didn't have a huge role. He was like the main guy in Soul Taker, but he was kind of a small part in Nurse Witch Kamugi. But I was excited because I thought I was going to get to sing, but it turns out that when they got to the songs, they didn't want to, translate them and re-record them and stuff, so they just used the Japanese, and I was upset. So yeah, I haven't really done a whole lot of singing in anime and stuff. It makes me kind of jealous of some of the Texas guys, because that happens a lot of time in some of the shows that like Funimation does, and I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. I'm just so jealous. We're gonna go right to the back. Back. Yes.
Is there a reliable source for the Hamtaro video online?
Is there a reliable source for the Hamtaro video? Mine?
Yeah.
No, it's been banned on YouTube.
Is there another website that we can get it from?
I don't know. Where would I try and sneak it in there? I don't know.
Dailymotion.
Dailymotion.
Daily. Oh, can I submit stuff to that? Do I have to like sign up and register and all kind of stuff? And yeah, I'll open an account there. Like I already did that with damn YouTube, and then they said no. It wasn't YouTube. It was somebody else that came in and said no. Like, did you watch my video? Well, no. Well, can you please watch it first? I don't know. I'll try. I'll look into it. But the answer is no. YouTube was me like pushing the envelope, and they said no. What's that?
Well, thank you for trying.
Oh yeah, indeed. Did you guys like it?
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, like I said, the Death Note one is still up there. I don't know why. So, yeah.
Flannel.
Okay.
I've named you. Your name is Flannel. Sorry, go ahead.
It's a good descriptor. Did you ever end up working with Patricia Drake? I know she's in Black Lagoon. Did you ever actually work with her?
Who's she playing with?
She's in Ballet.
She's Ballet, right? Yeah. Not directly, no, because they brought in one actor at a time and whatnot. So, yes and no, of course. But no, we've actually never officially met, which is really strange. It's funny sometimes that I'll come to a convention and it'll be like the first time that I've met somebody in person, and we've worked on like 6 different shows together. You know, but if they're all anime series, then you know we never actually meet unless we meet in passing, where you know like I'm coming in for a session and she's just finishing up or something like that. It's a crazy world. It's crazy. Sure.
Me?
Yep. Everybody's so shocked when I pick them. Are you sure? You sure about this? You want to pick somebody else? Go ahead. Yeah.
What are some of the trials and tribulations that you go through as a voice actor?
Nobody knows the trouble I see. Nobody knows my sorrow. The trials and tribulations are mainly not getting work. You know, that's tricky. Like, I mean, Bandai kind of vanishing hurt me a lot because Gundam was pretty good to me. Our dollar getting a lot better hurt me, unfortunately. I was one of the guys rooting for our dollar to stay low because, you know, the higher the American dollar is versus ours, the more work would come up north. And, you know, most of the stuff we do is based out of, you know, California or New York. You know, even the Japanese stuff, you know, a lot of it will come into a big distribution house in New York or in California before it makes its way up here. There are some relay things that are developed in Canada and whatnot, but yeah, I don't know. Once you get the gig, then it's gravy. I don't care. Like even working on Dragon Ball Z, where I'm screaming for 4 hours in a row. I don't care, man. I'm on Dragon Ball Z. You know, I'll bleed for that show. I did internally. It's kind of funny too, because like so I played adult Gohan in Dragon Ball Z. So the series was already out, and it was huge, obviously, phenomenal, right? And then I get a call from my agency saying that yeah, we got an audition for you for a show called Dragon Ball Z. Like, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Z. Like, maybe. Oh my god. So, like, I tell like my little cousin when he was little at the time, I'm like, yeah, so I got an audition for Dragon Ball Z. No way, you gotta get on that show, man. You gotta get on that show. Okay, I'm like, well, I guess I gotta get on that show. And you know, I got it, so I was psyched. But then, so at that time, I was working on another series called Earth Maiden Arjuna. I think they shortened it to Arjuna at some point. And so it'd be funny. So I'd scream my lungs out for 4 hours first thing in the morning, Kamehamehas and all that kind of stuff. And then I'd go in the afternoon to work on this other show. And the character I played, his name's Chris, and he's like, so I'm like all morning, and then the afternoon, why must we fight? Fighting is bad, okay? So it's a nice, you know, polar opposites of roles. Pretty funny, but yeah. So trials, tribulations. I don't care. I want the work. Work. No, I'm pointing directly at you.
Alright, so I have
Look deep into my eyes. You have been chosen, my friend.
I have a 2-part question.
Oh, two-part question. You have no longer been chosen. Yeah.
Out of all the voice actors that you've met and worked with,
Yep.
who's your favorite, and who's your favorite overall?
Oh, see, I've gotten that question before when I'm like on a panel with a bunch of other voice actors and actresses, so that makes it easy because I'll just point to the person next to me. That's tough. That's like picking your favorite role, man. Like, they're all super talented. The ones that I've worked with directly in Vancouver, I mean, I can't pick one because they're all awesome. And I've met, you know, through going to conventions in the States and here, you know, like I've met a lot of really awesome people from Texas, from California, and from New York and stuff. So I refuse to pick just one. I want them all bad.
So have you ever met Johnny Bosch?
Johnny Bosch? Yeah, I met Johnny.
I love that guy.
Yeah, I hate that guy. This is awesome. We did a panel, like the first time I met him, we were on a panel together and it was just the two of us. And it was so cool. I'm like, you're a Power Ranger? Sweet. he's a good guy. He's a musician too, right? He's got a band called I Shine. Unfortunately, here's the thing about Johnny is I've bumped into him a few times at a few different shows. Not a lot, but you know, a few different shows. And every time I'm at a convention with him, it's like that one convention where he doesn't have his band with him. So I've never seen his band perform, which kind of sucks. But one day, I'm hoping, because he's awesome. Yeah, he's awesome. And I want to see him rocking out. Whatnot. Maybe he'll let me hop on the kit for a little bit and, you know, bang some drums behind him. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. I'm trying to figure out who I've already asked before and stuff. I can't remember. You guys are all awesome. And you all look behind you when I point. It's behind you. Yes. Yes. Could be then. Who stole the Okay, awesome. Okay. Where is this coming from? Who's asking? Oh, wow. I was not pointing at you at all. Go ahead. I'll come back to you in a second. Yeah. So, like, because she's got this very sweet smile on her face, and suddenly, so I was gonna like, whoa! Not the voice I was expecting to let her know. Okay, so we'll start with you. Yeah.
First saying sorry to her.
Oh, it's awesome.
Alright, last night I watched Roberta's Blood Trail.
Okay.
And they did keep your swearing. So.
They did?
They did.
I dropped the MF in there?
Yep.
Oh, success! That's awesome. That wasn't a question, that was a statement, and you're forgiven for intruding on the question because that means the world to me. That's so great. Snuck it in there. Okay, now to your question.
Do you prefer voice acting or live acting?
Thank you for not phrasing it like, do you prefer voice acting or real acting? It's amazing how often people have said that. They don't mean any offense by it or anything, right? But it's just funny because they'll ask it and people go, oh my god, I can't believe you just said that. Like, I understand what you're saying. I personally prefer the voice acting. I loved the on-camera acting as well. And I loved theater too, back when I did it. But here's the thing about theater is for me, because I have a real job, look, sorry, I keep calling it a real job. I do real acting, but I have a real job. I'm totally contradicting myself. But like I said, I play 2 sports throughout the year. I have, you know, at least 2 jobs going at any given time. So I just don't have time for theater right now. And theater in Vancouver, it's not, I think it's probably better supported out here in Toronto than it is in Vancouver. So you're basically working for free. You're devoting all your time free, and free doesn't, you know, pay my rent. Or, you know, keep me stocked up in peanut butter and bread so I can eat. And potato chips. Gotta have my potato chips. No, I come here for my potato chips. You guys give me potato chips. And the on-camera stuff, I loved being on set, but the whole audition process is what I couldn't handle. My skin just wasn't thick enough because, you know, sometimes I'd go in and, you know, on short notice, I'd memorize, you know, 10 pages of dialogue. You walk in there and like, okay, we're gonna do the second half of page 3. And you're like, oh, okay, well, why did you send me 10 pages and tell me to learn them all and stuff? And then also for some other shows, you'd walk into a room, and I was younger when I was doing this too, so I was more impressionable, I suppose. Not quite as tough and gritty as I am now. And so you'd walk in, there'd be 30 people that look exactly like you, and they're all shooting daggers out of their eyes at you because that's just one more person that could take this role for me. And they all think the spot in this crappy commercial is going to get them, you know, their big break in Hollywood or something, you know. And then you got stage moms, which are a whole nother animal. They're trying to, I'm 12, 13 years old, and I'm, you know, auditioning for a show, and you got these stage moms that are trying to throw you off your game because they want their kid to get it and stuff. Like, it's ridiculous. It's a really tough industry, and I didn't like it, but I love being on set. Once I got cast, then I loved that. With the voice acting side of things, I found I even love auditioning. The people are just nicer. They don't have to be. It's another one of those industries where everybody wants to do it, so they don't have to be nice. But it seems like they're just a bit more courteous, you know, like, that, in my experience anyway. So like even the auditioning for voice acting, I do enjoy. I like it more when I get the part, but even when you don't, it's like, man, whatever, you know. They usually end up casting somebody that I'm like, okay, that's a good choice. You know, like Inuyasha, I wanted Inuyasha, and then they cast Richard Cox, and like, all right, it's a good pick.
That with the monkey on your head.
I know these guys, and we're all very supportive of each other. We hate each other at times. Like Sam Vincent, oh my God, he works on everything. He stole so many jobs from me, but he's so good too. Like, and he's a super nice guy, so you can't help but love him and want him to move away at the same time. But what do you do? Sure.
Okay, well, okay, so like you've auditioned, like you've always been working with like anime and cartoons, of course. But
Yep.
then, have you ever been given the opportunity to work for video games or whatever?
Oh, we haven't even talked about video games yet. Yeah.
And also, what would you personally say would be like the best place for auditioning, like Vancouver or Montreal?
Okay. Good questions. Video games. Okay, the very first video game that I worked on was for the Super NES, I believe. And it was, how old is this guy? Jeez. It was a Ranma 1/2 video game called Ranma 1/2 Hard Battle or something. It was horrible. It was like a knockoff of Street Fighter, but they didn't have the budget that Street Fighter had, so it's like, you know, pretty basic. You know, I think I had like 5 moves tops, and you know, a goofy little reaction for each of them. Oh! You know, something like that. Something like that, I don't know. And then through the Gundam stuff, I've been able to work on a ton of Gundam video games, like Journey to Jaburo and like pretty like every installment of Gundam games. And then with the Dynasty Warriors coming out, they had Gundam installments, so I've worked on 3 of those. And if you get to the Dynasty Warriors Gundam 3, because I was always playing Amuro from the original Mobile Suit Gundam in most of the Gundam series that I worked on. And then in the latest Gundam Dynasty Warriors 3, they brought in Setsuna from Gundam 00. So if you play the game in a certain mode, you get me like on a strange planet having a conversation with myself. Which was a lot of fun to record. I thought I was losing my damn mind. And then I've worked on, anybody played Dead Rising 2? Yeah. I played the deranged mascot Slappy on, see, another crazy character, right? There was one that I worked on a couple years ago, something that's called Street Fighter Cross Tekken. I got to play Jin from the Tekken side of things. That was cool. That was cool. We kicked those Street Fighters' butts all over the place. Actually, that game kicked my butt. So I went and bought it like everybody else, and like, okay, I need practice, man. I haven't played one of these games in a long time because I got beat up for a while. And then I figured it out. And I got a couple things I'm not allowed to talk about. You know, I do have another video game that's coming out next year sometime, but just finished recording that. I'm not allowed to talk about it, so sure. Yep.
Besides Japanese, have you had any other experience with dialects or accents? And have you had any technical speech or vocal training?
Je parle un peu français, mais je ne comprends pas.
What?
It's gibberish.
Are there French speakers out there? And you're telling me it was gibberish? Yeah, I tried to brush it past you.
Your accent was not great, but that was good.
Yeah, that was good.
Je m'excuse. So X-Men Evolution, I had to do a German accent. I'm not German. So I watched, like, Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and like listened to the Germans in that. And I watched old Blackadder. Do you guys know Blackadder at all? There was, okay, I know there's not a whole lot of German in that show, but was it Blackadder the second? I think it was the second installment. At one point, Blackadder gets thrown into like a prison, and he gets tortured and stuff. And Hugh Laurie from House fame plays his like German, captor or whatever. And so it's a really goofy accent, but I was using that to study. And so I went in there for the first episode. I think we did 2 episodes at once. So then did it, and then came back in for the next session, and I got a note. I had a note. Sometimes you come back and you have notes before you begin, right? And my note was, okay, so we wanted to make him like German-American. Can we now make him a little more American-German? Because we're afraid that some of the younger kids aren't going to have a clue what you're saying. So I really kind of modeled up that accent a bit to make it a little more TV-friendly, I suppose, which kind of made it a bit harder because I wasn't allowed to use the traditional stereotypical accent type things where you substitute certain letters, like instead of saying sir, I would say sir, whatever. Wasn't allowed to do that. So I had to use more candor and delivery as opposed to the actual, like, changing some of the letters around and whatnot. Was ist das? Guten Tag, Herr Avalanche. Now that you have swept my Fräulein off of her feet, perhaps you would enjoy being, how do you say, hit over heels. See, that's like how I auditioned for it. I got cast. They're like, we make it a little simpler. I'm like, okay. Yeah. So then I say, chicks think the fuzzy dude. I love the smell of bacon in the morning. So yeah, it became a lot more subtle. Yes.
Hi. So you said you have a real job, and then you decide the voice acting.
Mm-hmm.
Have you, like you said, all the work's in the States. Have you ever thought of moving there, or like?
I've thought about it for sure, but I got 2 little nephews that I'm watching grow up, and my family's very important to me, and I don't know if I could really be away from them. I've considered it, but I'm born and raised in Vancouver. I've never lived anywhere else, so it would probably make more sense at times for me to move away, but I don't know, man. We make choices, right? And right now, that's my choice, is to watch my family, keep them close. And also, I mean, that's the nice answer, but I'd also be terrified to go and, uproot myself and move to a new place in hopes of working in a career that there's no guarantees in, right? At least here, like in Vancouver, I have my other job. Like, what would happen if I moved to Texas and they're like, no, we don't need you here? I'm like, okay, well, then I guess now I'm trying a whole new career. I can be back home and stuff. I don't know. Maybe at some point. I don't know. If there was, believe me, if somebody approached me, like if Disney called me up and said, we want to put you in a bunch of Disney things, but we're not going to do it with you in Vancouver, would you come down to California? I would do it, just to try it out, right? But I'd be very hesitant and reluctant to go down California, especially California, because there's so many people that want to do it. Or Texas, and just hope for the best. So I'm not that brave, unfortunately, not yet anyway. We'll see. Anything's possible. The future is in our hands. All right, before you shoot me, I'll let you ask that question. Okay.
Are there any animes or cartoons or games or anything that are out today, or things like animes that haven't been dubbed yet that you see and you're like, I want to do that? Like anything that you really like to do?
Yeah, pretty much all of them. There is one. Now, this one's actually been done. It was done a while back. But this kind of ties into the question about singing before, too. There was a series called Beck.
Yeah! Oh, yeah!
Now, it was Greg Ayres that got the lead in Beck, and he's awesome, and he killed it and stuff. But, for me being completely selfish, I would have loved to work on that series, because I like the story and the songs. They put them all in English, and had, like, the entire cast was singing and stuff. So I'm just purely out of jealousy, I would like to work on that. Akira would have been cool. But I don't know, there's a ton that I would love to do. Any future Gundam projects, of course, I want to work on. Yeah. Oh, yeah, navigating through the heads to find you. Yes?
Can you express your thoughts about Hiro from Hiro Zuko?
Wow. Kurozuka, I forgot about that one. Yeah, whatever happened? How do you find that show? I played Kuro and Kurozuka. Okay.
I just found it on the internet.
Yeah, I think that's the only place I found it too. I don't know, I thought it was going to be released as this big thing. I was kind of following Mamoru Miyano, who's the voice actor that played Light, the Japanese fellow. I followed him on a couple of series because I played Light in Death Note and Setsuna in Gundam 00, and it was the same voice actor in Japan for both those characters. And then Kuro in Kurozuka, same thing, it was him. So I thought, okay, awesome, see you. That was a fun show to work on. Visually stunning. I don't want to give too much away because you guys should check it out. But there's blood and guts and stuff in it, and whatnot. And it was kind of cool watching him. He's like a lot of the characters that I play, where he starts off as kind of like a mild-mannered type fella, and then some crazy things happen to him, and he becomes very different. He changes. I don't want to spoil too much, but that's cool that you actually brought it up. That's sweet. Like, not that many people know about that show. But yeah.
You mentioned way back near the beginning of the Q&A.
That was like yesterday, right? Yeah, but it's only 5:45 now, right?
Yeah.
That's
You mentioned earlier going to an anime store, buying copies of Death Note and Gundam Wing.
Yep.
Are there any other things that you haven't worked on that you've gone out of your way to go and pick up? And if so, what have you been buying? Tell us, Brad Swaile, what do you watch?
Yeah, I watch Sesame Street, and things like that. To be fair, more recently, the stuff that I'm kind of getting into are TV shows again. I kind of stopped watching TV for a while because I was bored by it. Like, I found myself watching Discovery Channel all the time. Because, I don't really care about the real-life Housewives of Atlanta. Or Beverly Hills. Or Vancouver. They have a Vancouver one. Do they have a Toronto one yet? No. They're gonna. I'm sure they will. Real-life Housewives of Toronto. Bye-bye. I miss you already. But, okay, to be fair, I'm right into Game of Thrones. Walking Dead was a slow burn for me. Like, I watched a bit of the first season, I'm like, oh, this is cool and interesting, but I missed an episode and I wasn't all that torn up. And then I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna get back into it. And then the second season kicked me right in the teeth, and I'm sucked right into that. I started watching Shameless. Let me see that with William H. Macy.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty
Great
cool.
show.
What am I gonna say?
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad I tried to get into, and here's my experience with Breaking Bad is I was way too late jumping on that bandwagon, but there was a point where I kind of got into it for a bit, and they had like a whole marathon building up to the season 4 or whatever season it was premiere, and I found that show so exhausting. By the time I worked my way through this marathon, and I saw it like all in a very short period of time, and I did that building up to watching the premiere. And by the time I got to the premiere, I didn't watch it. I was drained. That show I found very draining. Like, it's tough. So that one wasn't really in my repertoire. I shouldn't badmouth any shows. I started watching Under the Dome. Has anybody checked that out at all? I don't have a whole lot of faith in that show, but I'm still, I'm almost ready to jump ship, but I'm still kind of semi-intrigued, so it's keeping me on. I'm watching, I didn't realize this has started up again, but Face Off. Have you seen that? Like the movie makeup and stuff? Awesome. Sometimes I'll get sucked into those the tattoo shows as well, like Ink Master and things like that. But somebody's off duty. All right, thanks for your help, buddy. Yeah, we're way past our time. I should probably wrap it up. I'll just let you guys go. Some of you just want to leave and you're so polite. Yeah. You guys want to hear another song? Yeah. Another song? Okay. Can you not record this song? This is just for you guys. For staying so late, we don't need this one on YouTube, whatever. This is just for me and you.